and then read them, and then the next person's got to,
John's opened the last two land sales, so I keep tradition, let him do it again.
yeah, so we'll see
Hey,
how
Joe.
many days. We had 40 parcels.
John, we told Joe at 9 o'clock.
Hey, Joe, I think we're getting ready to start if you want.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. Let's call a meeting to order.
Okay.
Roll call.
We gotta hit the record button.
Yeah, I got it before you.
Okay.
I just did it 3 seconds before.
Got it, thanks. Okay.
Roll, Joe Rose,
Yeah,
John Weiner,
Here?
George Micka,
Yeah.
Rick Corpola, Pat Kenny.
Here.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda, seeing it's on there.
motion to approve the agenda. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried.
Okay, and I'll approve the zoning and land committee meeting minutes for July 23rd.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. Public comments. Public comments. Does anyone there? If there are no public comments, let's move on to number 5, open land sale bids.
I'm just gonna pass out the land sale list again, so everyone, if they want to make notes on it, or do you guys have it? You have it?
Do we have public comments?
There's
Anyone
no,
there for public comments?
there's no one in the boardroom.
Okay. Let's go on to the next item then, open land sale bids.
Well, looks like a pile of them, eh? Poor Jan.
That'd be nice.
All that together doesn't look like there's a whole lot of them.
Okay.
There's a few
Quite
there.
a few.
Would you like Pat to open them? Or you want to open them and then,
Unless he wants to, I figure it'd be easier for me to just open them and, then I'll like say out loud what the bids are and everything,
Yeah, go ahead.
so, okay. So our first one is for sale number 14. Okay, so for sale number 14, it is from Joshua Clark. The bid amount is $352. He's got his 25% deposit here of $88. He also wrote a little note in here. My wife and I live and work in Ashland, hope to build one day if possible. Thanks for considering. Okay. Looks like that's
no, if any of you guys want to see the sale or anything, just you can go up there and look at it.
Yeah, one thing is maybe is the speaker should have a speaker inside here. I'm having a very hard time hearing.
Oh, sorry, I can also
Right.
just talk louder.
But they should, you don't have a speaker inside the building, you know? Yeah, maybe it would be a good idea for people that have a hard time hearing.
I'll try to talk louder.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, that's okay, I'm just very quiet. Okay, did you hear who this was from? then?
Yeah, on the 14th, kid, yes.
Yep, from Joshua Clark, and he bid $352. Okay. The next one is for sale number 25.
Same a lot,
No, different lot, sale number 25.
25.
Yep. Actually, if it's easier, do you want me to put these in order that they are in the list? Or does it not matter? Okay.
As long as we know which one, just make sure we know which, sale number you got, so we can follow it on here.
Yep. Okay, so this is for number 25. This one is also from Joshua Clark. This one, the bid amount is $352.
Only one bid? Only one bid on 14 and only one bid on, so how many bids there are? There's only one bid on this, right? There any other bids on 25?
I didn't look through them yet. I was just gonna go through them.
Oh, okay, well, that's okay. Usually what we do is we have them all, you know,
Yep, and I'll just put them in.
yeah,
order.
that's okay. It's probably 99% chance there isn't another one. But if there is, usually we like to have them, at the same time.
Yep.
You want me to put them in order? Or,
No, I got it.
or,
I got it.
okay, you want?
Okay, the rest of them will be in order now. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this next bid is for sale number 3.
What number?
Sale number 3. Sale number 3 from Pauline Kemp. And her bid is $1,021.
$1,000, what was it again?
1,021.
What was the number on that one?
Number 3.
23?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Yep.
I know I heard a 3 in there.
I'll use hand signals now, George.
Okay. And then her deposit, her 25% deposit is $255.25. That's the only bid for sale number 3. So next is for sale number 6. Okay, sale number 6, received from Travis Pido for the bid amount of $512. And that was our only bid on sale number 6. This next one for sale number 8. Okay, sale number 8. This bid is from Jack Hoagland. And he bid $35,001. Okay, so that was sale number 8 from Jack Hoagland, $35,001.
And that was for number 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have one more for number 8. Same sale number. Okay, this one, for sale number 8, this was submitted by Ronald Pajic for the amount of $31,200.
Must be a real nice building lot, eh?
Yeah, that one's got a vacant house on it.
Got a house on it?
Yep,
Oh, okay.
okay. Next bid, sale number 9. Okay, sale number 9 submitted by Joshua Clark for $120. Okay, sale number 10. Okay, sale number 10 submitted by Sarah Linnefelter for $149. Okay, sale number 11. Sale number 11, also submitted by Sarah Linefelter. The bid amount of $299. This one is for sale 35. Okay, sale 35, submitted by Gloria Deleva. And the bid amount is $200. Okay. And our last one for sale number 40.
What number is that now?
Sorry, number 40.
Number 20?
40.
30?
40.
Okay,
40. 40.
40. All right, 40.
Okay. All right. So sale 40, submitted by Dennis and Vicky Lundquist for $3,300.
What was that number again?
$3,300.
You bet.
Can you get the person's name from me?
Yep, Dennis Lundquist. Yep.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and that's all of our bids.
I got a question here. Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I have
the
a,
sound on my computer isn't too loud, so I'm listening real close.
I've been working on a land sale for the town of Jacobs. It's the gas station for 2 years. George opened this up for me a while ago back for Ashland County. And I got it on a land sale now, but I had 2 friends interested in it. But there's just a little question about the DNR. I have a 24-page document from that property, and it tells me exactly where all of the tests were done. So my question is, I got 2 friends that are interested in buying the land. And there's just a little question about, there's a little spot that has to be tested yet. And I've been working with the DNR for 2 years, and now I'm working with one lady that she's actually gonna come down through the site and tell me exactly where this problem is at. Because I have the 2 friends that don't really want to be interested in buying this property until the DNR is kind of signed off on it. I have a list of two people from Ashland here who will do the soil testing. But my question is, when I have somebody come and do this test for me, I don't know, if Ashland County would pick up the bill on that? Or exactly how to go forward with that situation?
Was it on the land sale?
Yes,
Which one was it, number 4 or number 2?
That would be number 2.
Number 2?
yeah, number 2.
That's the old BP one?
Yes. I have
And there could be contamination there?
there could be, the DNR went through and did all the soil tests on what they had done when they took the tanks out and the whole site. She's telling me that there just a little small area that needs to be tested yet. And I'm the back taxes were around $20,000, and when I threw another $10,000 onto that bid to make it $30,000. It's been a 2-year project for me, and so it would just be a little.
You know, what we've done in the past is, like the BP one, or the other one down there, we got a bid of probably $80,000 to clean that one up.
Right.
And the pickup fund would only give us $35,000, you know, and we decided, the county would have to clean it up and everything, and we decided it would cost the county a bunch of money. So we continue to leave that one sit. What we can do, and Clark would have to zero in on this over time, we could award that to the city of Glidden for X number of dollars. We could give it to a municipality, we just can't sell it outright. Once we take this land, basically we can't sell it to somebody personal. They have to come through the bidding process.
Right.
That don't mean we can't go, we do this with the city a lot, we do it with Mellon a lot. You know, you want it, give us, all, you know, the taxes and the penalties and that, and we can award that to the city or to Mellon or Glidden. Am I wrong?
Speaking to the mic. It's my understanding, yes, we can basically sell a piece of property to another municipality for less than the appraised value. And that's how, if you remember, we were talking about the Mellon issue, when we gave the deed restriction back in February or January of this year. You look back on those records, we sold that piece of property to the city of Mellon for $1 back in 1992.
Which one was that?
That was the one that we had this big pipeline issue. We basically, there's a little piece of property, we gave them to them right along the river, and they wanted it for public access to the river. And but the deed didn't allow it to be sold to Enbridge, so we gave them a deed, basically a quit claim deed to remove that covenant from the sale of the city. So if we were to sell a piece of property to another municipality, we could put conditions on it in order to have clear title on it.
So we could sell it to a municipality and they could deal with it whichever way they wanted.
See, that's the problem, the people that are involved that want to buy it, they just want to know an answer.
See,
if it's gonna be
you got two
something.
people that want it, and then you get a bidding war. Now, we just went through this last fall in our last sale. Remember that lady down in, on Spider Lake there? It was 440 or 340?
Yep.
And somebody bid 50,000 and we decided she wanted it back because, you know, and we'd have gotten a lawsuit right away. And you don't want to do that. So we awarded it to the guy who done the bidding.
Right.
But, you know, you got two people, well, I wouldn't even
Yeah,
touch
I mean,
that. There's no way I'd touch
They're
that.
both willing to pay the 30,000, but just that, if I could just take, what I can do is I got two people in Anson here I would like to call them up and ask them just for a price. It might be only $1,000 to go get the test done and keep everything the same. And then pay, then the Ashland County would get 29,000 back. So it's just a little teeny catch. That's all there is to the system, but I see your system too. But I'm just trying to just ease the bidders up so that they wouldn't get into trouble. I mean,
The
basically
only
that's what it is.
policy this committee has, and I'm pretty sure that as the county has, is we'll sell it to a relative of a former owner. And if these ain't, either one of them are relatives of former owners,
They're not.
then we're back to putting it on the bid again, unless we can sell it to the municipality for all the taxes and the back payments and let them deal with it, but
Yeah,
otherwise,
that,
you know, because on that now, you gotta remember, we didn't get a bid on it.
Well, there was, I could have had 2 bids on it, but they backed out because of this
You're
little
saying that-
issue here.
You're saying that if the DNR would sign off on
The
that.
DNR
little
will take
spot,
care
we'd
of
probably
us,
get
yes,
bids on it.
yes. I've been working with this lady, it's been a long deal, and she talks to me regularly, and that's all I gotta do is, she's gonna send me just a picture exactly where she has to have that last soil test done. And then if I got the answer, which ain't gonna be a big deal, it's not, they keep on telling me, the DNR, it's just a simple little deal, that it's not gonna cost thousands of dollars. So without that kind of being done, the sales, people are gonna back out of it. So what I'm just asking, if I could just get a soil test done and a price on it, and maybe the next meeting, I'll have more numbers for you. And if it's only gonna cost $1,000 to get that site, checked out, then we're still way ahead of our system. And at the same time, I can get it sold. So,
It seems
know
like,
it's
it seems like it makes sense to get the soil test done, get that done, get it sold and get it back on the tax rolls, because we're just foregoing tax revenue too as this drags out. So I would certainly support, if it's just the test, not the remediation, if it's just the test, and then put this out for bids again so you can go through the hoops of getting it sold and back on the tax rolls. Because the alternative is to sit on it, which.
Years ago, when the PECA fund and the Brownfield funds came available, we did a lot of horse dickering, whatever you want to call it, but what we would do, there was a couple of them in Ashland. And what we did is, people who wanted them, we didn't take them. We took them with the understanding that these people would take it once it was all cleaned up. But we didn't take it as tax title. We took it with a stipulation that it was already gonna be sold when we took it. It was just like the ORDOC. They never paid taxes for 35 years on it. We wouldn't take it very simply because we didn't wanna deal with tearing it down or whatever. This could be the same thing. If the DNR would come along and say, sign off on it,
yeah,
then you're telling us that
then it would go
a
back.
couple of the people would be bidding on this.
Exactly.
And you're asking us, will we put the $1,000 up front? We can do that and just put it up, Jen, how much do we have against that lot too?
Less than 20, isn't it?
No, you guys had me double check after the last meeting, and all of the taxes that are owed came to a little bit under 30,000.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I-
30,000 is
still
how much
ahead.
tax.
So if we did that, we could raise that up to 35,000 for a minimum bid.
Okay, well,
Okay,
that
well,
would
but-
be.
Yeah,
okay.
I think you're stepping ahead of yourself with an agenda item.
I realize I am.
I think you should deal with the land sale and
And then
make,
talk about that after.
deal with that, and then we can talk about this issue, because you're dwelling into an issue where staff have not developed a write-up
Yeah,
and a recommendation concerning, and we should, if you want it, we will come back with a recommendation, you know, and guidance concerning the study of this. But, let's deal with this issue.
All right.
You just have right now.
Having Clark said that, I'll make a motion, we take the highest bid on all the bids that are over our estimate.
I'll second.
But again, you're not gonna get anybody to bid on it until this is kind of little helped out here.
Well, we didn't get a bid on that, it ain't a discussable thing on the sales today. We can get, as soon as we get this done, we can bring that back on the floor and talk about it,
Okay.
you know,
So
so.
is now, I'll just wait till next meeting and try to get some more help and some more numbers together would be.
Well, we can discuss it. I just want to finish this motion for the land sale.
So Joe, you had a motion and a second to accept the highest bid for the land sale.
Okay, motion and second, and all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried.
Okay, so back to your issue, John. I think,
I'm still confused that I can't hear and I'm still really confused here.
yeah, so
So you want, what do
yeah,
you
so
want me to do?
we understand what you're looking for, but I would recommend that we basically, that we direct staff to research, are we buying ourselves any problems by finding something we don't want to know? Or is it beneficial for us to find that information? I can't tell you that, and I'm going to check with Corp Counsel on that to make sure before we go down this path, this is overall beneficial to the county. We will also look into George's suggestion concerning, what would it take if we gifted it or sold it for $1 to the, or whatever the minimum taxes is, the $30,000, and let them deal with it. And that will give us time to come back to try to move this ball down the court. We want to try, I agree with you. We need to get this property back on the tax rolls. And we will investigate what that is if the committee wants us to direct us.
The first thing I do, John, is I call the DNR and see if there's money in the backup fund.
There isn't.
There isn't? No. How, the Brownfield? See, the
Oh, you
backup
mean,
fund was the first
the
one.
DNR has
When
got-
it ran out, they started what was called the Brownfield. It was the same type of money. So if that one might, so you're telling me the DNR doesn't have any money available
No, they don't,
for
but they pay,
testing or for cleanup?
the DNR, it has to be paid for the cleanup that they did, yes. So which was, $20,000, $19,500 something dollars.
Well,
So
If
then,
it's gonna
you know,
cost-
the thing is you got 30-something thousand on a bid, and then you gotta pay another 20-something thousand on that taxes for the DNR, so, you know,
here's my question, Bart. Are we heating that place for the winter then?
it's gotta be insured, I suppose.
Well, we should be, because that cement will go to hell on it, and then we'll be out of everything,
I mean, it hasn't been heated for like the last 3 years.
you know? Well, cement, you give 1 or 2 winters, and if you don't heat a building with cement in it, it'll break, it'll crack, it'll go, you know. So either we're gonna heat it for a year and work on this over the winter, but what we can do is,
I mean, if it's,
we could drop this down to 20,000 and sell it as is, and let them deal with it. We can drop it, you know, we can go, we dropped a lot of them, we way below the.
you're basically just,
penalty.
you're interested in getting the back taxes paid off for Ashland County.
Yeah,
Okay,
we could do that as is. I would like to see it go to the municipality and let them work on it. That's what I would rather do, being that I want the $30,000, but at the same token, we'd like to get it on the tax roll. And this place looks like it could really be a wild business. I mean,
It is a good
you got
business. It's
heck
not
of a-
gonna
you
be-
got $150,000, $200,000 building on there. I'm amazed that they ain't bidding on it and just taking care of it themselves. Because that building is, that location, the building and everything is
it's
par
a
right
nice
now.
place,
I mean,
yes, it is, and it's good shape, and, And then it's not gonna be for a private use, it's to be for commercial use. So then the DNR right away, they smiled as soon as they heard that, because they don't like private use, they like commercial use. It eases them up on it. But
Yeah, we sell, the state law is that every parcel we sell is sold as is. So we have, as you see on the list, we had houses, there could be stuff in those homes, there could be, asbestos, there could be lead, there could be all sorts of stuff. The state law basically says the counties are not responsible for any contamination on sites. Because if that was the case, all of a sudden we'd be forking out hundreds of thousands of dollars to remediate properties, and that's not our job.
right, it could
Well,
be,
that's what I'd ask again, what is the appraised value of that? Would you have that off the top of your head, or?
the value is $100
I think it was
$160,
190,000.
something like that.
That's ludicrous to me.
Well,
If it's
the
worth,
thing is-
if it's
Well,
appraised at
so-
190, you want 30, even to clean it up is only gonna cost 10,000. I've seen dozens and dozens of places that have cleaned up themselves. And I would, if you've got a little spot there, you get a backhoe and bid. I can't imagine why somebody didn't bid on that,
Well, it was because they were friends of mine and they were just, worried about these little bit of spot of contamination. If that was to be solved, I could sell it tomorrow. And that's why I say, people, I got 2 bidders that'll take it tomorrow.
Joe,
No, I
this is Pat. I'm gonna make a motion. I'm gonna make a motion that we direct staff to research how to sell or dispose of parcel number 2. Item 2, which is parcel 012-00292-000.
I won't second that motion because it's not on the agenda. What we can do is have Jen, research that and bring it back to our next meeting and have it on the agenda. Then you can really talk about it. But, basically, if it's not on the agenda and it's an action item, we're not supposed to make motions off of,
This is only to direct staff to bring a recommendation.
So what we can do is, we can have Jen, research that and bring it as an agenda item, and then we can discuss it in length.
Well, all I'm asking is that we direct staff to research it. We wouldn't be taking action
Yeah,
to
well,
make
you
any
don't need to
decision.
make a motion on that, we can direct staff to do that at any time. If you're gonna have time there, Jen, with all the,
It's not inappropriate for the committee to have the consensus to say, do we want to make this a priority of the staff? So in this case, we could have one member who wants us to research Area 51 in Utah, and no one else wants us to do that. Well, we're not going to waste time doing that. But if there's a consensus, so I would say if no one's objected to this, we would take the recommendation and have staff follow through and come back with a recommendation.
have it an action item, then we can discuss it, we can actually, discuss it, and if it's an action item, we can actually make a, direction on it. We can't.
Well,
do
I'm not
that.
asking, okay, so first of all, it seems that this item has been discussed at length, even though it's not on the agenda other than the sale. And then the other thing is, in terms of directing staff, all this is the motion is direct staff to spend time researching and bring a recommendation. It's not to take any specific action related to selling or remediating the parcel. This is just so that staff knows if this is supported by the committee to research this and bring us a recommendation.
Well, John, who did the research on this? You do it, or did it?
I did research on this for 2 years. The DNR has been with me for a year and a half. And the DNR has been calling me every week, trying to help me with this situation.
Would the DNR give a quote in case they had to clean it up, what it would actually cost?
24-page document right there. It tells you every inch of the cleanup. It tells me everything about it. It's just one little deal. Now, if I
You
wish,
got a map of the possible contamination?
yes,
You got a
Yeah.
spots on there? I can't see why they can't make an assumption of what it would cost to clean it up because they're not saying it is. They're saying if it's contaminated. They should be able to give us
See,
an
that's,
estimate of what it would cost, well, you can,
yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to do. Is
Then that could
she
go
would
along
actually
with the
meet up
bid.
with me and then I would find, is that pinpoint? And
We'll come back with research
Alright.
and staff recommendation. John, if you could share that stuff with Jen, if
Okay,
she doesn't
so
have it already.
we'll
We'll
put
take
that on.
copies of it. So since you've done a lot of work on it, we appreciate that. And we'll come back with the possibilities and you guys can.
That would
try
be
and decide what we
wonderful.
wanna
I'm
do.
trying to get everybody just to help me a little bit because this
Well-
is a big thing.
Yep, we'll work on it together.
Okay, so we'll put this on,
And just for your information also, we will be posting our sales on Wisconsin Public Surplus next time to get higher visibility. So we've talked to all the other counties around us, and instead of just putting it in the paper or on our website, they also put it on Wisconsin Surplus. So it goes to the highest, it's a live auction, basically. So you won't be doing open bids. You'll have a minimum bid, and then it'll just be a live auction after that. Counties have had great success with getting more money, and they have people from, Chicago, Minneapolis, they buy these parcels. They're like, hey, I'm gonna buy a piece up in the north one. They never even come up and visit it. But it gets it back into private hands. And so we'll come back with that for our next land sale,
yeah.
and we'll draft up the policy. It looks like we don't need to change an ordinance. It looks like this is just a policy decision that this committee can make to say, we want to move from sealed bids to live auctions on the Wisconsin surplus site. And we'll come back with that as an agenda item on the next.
So I can put this on the agenda for the next meeting and then have a little more information for everybody then. Huh?
Yeah, so the next meeting, what we'll do is you guys can decide what you want to do with this piece of property. In addition, you'll see the motion from the policy from staff. They'll say, here's how the sales are going to go from now on in order to increase visibility and try to move more of this property. So we'll have those two items on the next agenda.
well, along with that, it looks like we got a lot of talking to do. We had what, 10, 12 bids on 40 parcels. We'll have to do a lot of talking, won't we? There's a bunch of these, and we can drop it below the value that we got against it, just to get it off. I mean, we've done that from time to time.
Yeah.
There's some pretty decent, numbers on here. We'd sure like to get those, off of here. But we can talk about that next time.
Is
Can
it,
can you do a little, John, are you, you've got 90% of the information there already.
More than that.
I don't see where we're gonna pay money to have it, checked. I just don't,
You might not be
What do you
saving them,
think?
but the thing
you
is,
think we should have it tested and pay another $1,000? Here's the problem we have.
We're gonna research it. I'm not gonna give an off-the-fly opinion on this, because maybe it's positive, maybe it's beneficial. But we'll figure this out and come back to you, and you guys can weigh in on this issue after the staff recommendation.
My issue is, we got it for 30,000 and that's what's against it. If it's appraised at 190 and we start sticking money into it and we don't get a bid and we sell it for 20, now we got money, that we're pouring into it. And that's probably the finance, it has to come from the finance committee. I don't think we can't use our money that we take in on our sales to do stuff like that. It'd have to come through the finance committee, to spend the money, because is it $1,000 or is it gonna be $7,000? The DNR, you just don't know.
okay, what I'll do is, I'll just get some more information and then maybe I can talk to the owner and say, hey, this is what you have. And then the land sale stays the same. Okay, great. I'll bring more information on our next meeting then.
I've got a question for the administrator. Do you think it's worth advertising the remaining parcels again sometime in the near future? Just to see if we can sell a few more?
So I would like to come back with the new policies so we can advertise it on a broader basis. In addition, we'll hopefully have a recommendation for this. It is not free for us to advertise. We have to post in the paper the publication of this. these sales?
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, what does that cost?
Oh.
It's not cheap, but that's why I
No, it's-
wonder if it's worth
it's-
considering.
I don't know off the top of my head. It's fairly expensive because, we have to list it as a class 3 publication, which means we have to publish it 3 times, like in the daily press, so it's several $100s.
Yeah, I know it's not cheap. And then the related question is, if we wait another year to have the land sale in the spring, as far as the back taxes that are owed with the numbers, once we've taken the parcel, is that number then fixed in terms of back taxes that are owed? Or do we add to that in a sense? Because we're losing revenue by holding these parcels once we take them, because we no longer get that tax. So it's a balance of the two.
Yeah, so on paper, the amount of back taxes doesn't increase because once we take ownership, the parcel becomes tax exempt. But yeah, you're right that we are still losing that revenue. I just don't know how we account for that.
So another thing that would be interesting in terms of data looking at these is, it's always nice to get everything you got back into something, but life doesn't always work that way. And so the other related question is, if some of these parcels have been sitting for years and they're not selling, even these, $300 ones, et cetera, at some point, is it worth dropping the prices on some of them by looking at the tax that we're foregoing because they're not getting sold? In other words, in the long run, we'd be further ahead by dropping the price some and taking the loss now, at least so we can start generating some tax revenue back going forward.
Yeah, and that's typically how I try to tackle these ones, especially these, couple $100 parcels in the city. They've been on our land sale list for a couple years and we've been dropping them in price every time. So just to get rid of them, put them back on the roll, definitely.
And the other thing is, the longer the list is, the more staff time spent on it, and the more daily press space that takes, which means the advertising costs are higher too.
Yeah.
So whatever we can do to move them along faster would seem like in the long run it would make sense.
Yeah, I'll work on that policy then for putting it up on Wisconsin Surplus, and then we can try to have another land sale as soon as possible, before the end of the year. So,
Well, I think we're probably, if we don't have a land sale this fall, and there's no really reason to, because it doesn't look like we're getting bids on a lot of the stuff. But maybe we should be looking at maybe a May and an October next year, try to, this way, what John's talking about here, maybe we could get rid of that in spring. My fear is if we don't put heat in that thing.
I'd like to get rid of it sooner, but
It might not be worth $190.
no. If you can, one more question, just then I'm done with the whole thing. What happens if I talk to DNR into going and doing everything, and then they have the bill, and then the owner would just have to pay the DNR off, and then Ashley County stays the same then? If I got the DNR to go in there, take the samples, they're willing to work with me. They're willing to do anything to get rid of this. So if I got the DNR to take the samples, sign off, then the owner pays the DNR off, and then they put a bid in for here. So-
I guess that's a question for the DNR, if the DNR is willing to do that.
Yeah, DNR is going to deal with me 100% because they want this gone as just as bad as we do. They've been working on it for over 2 years too, along with the other one. But that's all I got to say. I'll work on a few things and I'll give you more information on next meeting.
What would it involve to get a sale this fall online? Is that possible, doable as far as workload and expense?
Well, from going on, we're already set up on Wisconsin Surplus because I set up an account. We sell all this office equipment that you used to see out there. A lot of it went to Wisconsin Surplus. We use it now in the highway department to get rid of equipment.
Right.
So we're set up. I guess the question is, what is our expected return? If we're going to spend $1,000 on publications to get rid of $200 worth of property, it's really not worth it, So I think part of it is what is the publications cost, and then what do we expect to get out of it? I think it'd be nice to be able to fix this issue, get this done, because that would be one good sale. And then those other ones, we could see how it goes. So I'm not opposed to that, but I think we want to look at it and say, you know, is it worth our return on investment to spend the money to advertise, or just, you know, these properties that sell for $50, you know?
So as far as going on the tax roll, is it, I believe it's based on who owns it on the first of the year. So if we did a sale this fall again and sell it to an owner so the title's in their name by the end of the year, then they pay taxes the following year. When we do the sales in the spring, do we collect any tax revenue? Do they prorate that for the part of the year the person owns it? I don't think so. I don't think they start paying taxes till the following year. I think it's based on who owns it at the first of the year.
Correct.
So if we could sell some things this fall yet, we'd get them on the tax rolls for the following year. But I think the online thing, I mean, honestly, I never saw the advertisements for Aspen County. In fact, I told a couple of people and they couldn't find the advertisements either, which was a little strange. My hope would be, and this is just a hope, that if it's an online sale, there could be a bunch of this that goes, we don't know. But I think the current one with the Daily Press, there's so few people that see the Daily Press anymore. That's not very effective. And then I get lots of links to online sales. I watch a fair bit of that. And, you know, I didn't see this thing pop up either. So my feeling is there's just a whole lot of people that don't know about what's for sale using the methods that we've been doing, because things have changed in terms of people being online and using online auctions.
Yeah, and that's definitely a goal with using Wisconsin Surplus, is to
Yeah.
try to get our online presence, you know, get us out there, so that more people know about it. You know, maybe we can have, like, once we have consolidated Facebook pages for the county or something, that'd be a good place to throw out a post.
I asked to have to share it on our pages, but we don't have a general government Facebook social media account. We have a sheriff's account, there's a public health account, there's a health and human services account, there's maybe a couple others. And maybe land conservation has one. So what we're gonna try to do is have one main one also, so that these types of things could be consolidated onto there. So that's another initiative. And we do need to develop there's another policy, social media policy. So some of these things I had on my initiative this year to get done, and COVID kind of took over a lot of my time. So I haven't gotten around to, this thing was something that we wanted to get done earlier too, and we just never got around to Wisconsin Surplus for the land sale. We didn't get it done in time for the last land sale decision. So we're working on it.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Let's move on, Joe.
So,
You're on number 6 there, Joe.
Number 6?
Yep.
Okay.
Can I throw out one thing for other business? It's really quick. I just wanted to remind you guys and let you know that for the next county board meeting, we had discussed last meeting about releasing the mineral rights on that property, on Mellon Manor's property in Mellon. That's going to be on the next county board agenda, just so you guys know.
So the county board got to
Yeah,
approve that.
Yep, the county board will have to approve that, so,
And we approved it last meeting, right?
yep,
Yeah. So-
yep, it was approved to go to the county board, last meeting, and I wrote up the resolution for it, so, just so you know, in case.
Next county board meeting is on next Tuesday on September 8th at 9 o'clock. It'll be at the Salem Baptist Church and also on Zoom. So we're gonna produce both of those and see how that goes. Try to improve on what we had the last meeting, so.
You got anything else, Ken?
Nope.
Next meeting date there, Joe. We've got our 2 department heads. What do you think? First week of October?
I don't think they'll have anything.
No likelihood, we're not getting some gold, right? I mean, we could schedule it, you know, depending on the research and the project.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't necessarily see a need for an October meeting.
Yeah, so if we wanted to have a meeting to discuss the research that I do about the gas station property, then we could have an October meeting. Otherwise, I really don't have that much else to. There might be some properties coming up that we could take for delinquent taxes. But I don't think that would be until the end of October, so. Yeah, so I'd probably want a November meeting for sure, but if we wanted to meet earlier to discuss the gas station, that would be fine too.
Would it make sense to not set a meeting date now and then wait until a recommendation is developed on the gas station and then schedule a meeting so that if there is action that is needed, we could do that as soon after you have a recommendation as possible? The hope would be obviously to get this back on the tax roll by the beginning of the year.
Don't matter to me.
Yeah. November sounds like a long ways off if you have a recommendation,
Yeah.
say in 2 weeks,
Well, what you do is
keep the
you
ball moving.
Yeah,
set one for the middle of next month and then later November. That way you get 2 months, with, almost 3 months with 2 meetings, so. Middle of the month,
that's fine.
got a date?
Doesn't really matter to me. I'll be here. Joe, do you have any date in mind that would work for you in the middle of October?
Oh, I can't, I got a scheduling conflict the first Thursday of each month. Otherwise, I'm pretty open. Take a look at my book here. October.
Tuesday, October.
How about Tuesday, the 13th,
Yeah, he doesn't want on Thursday. Tuesdays are fine.
How does Tuesday, the 13th work, Joe?
Tuesday the 13th. Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
Bring some of that smoked fish there, Joe, that you catch all the time.
What's that?
Bring some of that smoked fish you brag about all the time. Took him totally out of the think of thinking. Good enough.
Okay, that's all from me.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks for all the help, Jen.
Yep. Yeah, if you want to stop in and let me copy that information you have. after the
Sure.
meeting.
Thank you so much.
You want to just give it to her now, then she could give it back to you? Yeah, and I think he's got it.
I can just make copies.
Oh,
And then you can-
of the DNR deal? Okay, this is the other here. Matter of fact, Mary Jo is the one that been working with me on that. and She's the one that printed all that all for me.
Okay, I'll get that. to you.
Yeah. So. Okay.
so far, agenda.
You're on, Josh. Go ahead. Any public comment for the zoning?
Okay, public comment for zoning, item number 7. Anybody there?
Nope.
Okay, if nobody's there for public comments, let's go to item number 8. Permits issued revenue account.
July and August were very busy. July, we brought in $18,410. August, we brought in $14,140. August wasn't in your packet because our month end and the packet's getting sent out. So August did not go into your packet.
Looks good.
Been busy, very busy.
See, county, liability account. Yeah. So,
It's the same number basically that, you could have that.
Yeah, that's what I just looked. That's all right.
You don't need to look at it. Pretty self-explanatory. I'll make a motion to, accept the liability account.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. Other business?
Just a couple things. First, other business, the DNR sent us notice. We'll have to update our floodplain ordinance with some new dam failure analysis information. That'll be coming in the first quarter of 2021. So if anybody wants to take the time to look at the floodplain ordinance, it's something, really the only change is going to be the adoption of the new maps. To clarify things, that's a requirement anytime there's a new dam failure analysis and flood elevations change. And then the DNR is also revising NR 113, which deals with septic systems as far as farmer exemptions, and they're removing a farmer exemption. So we'll have a number of farmers that are going to have to start complying with the rules like everybody else has. We've been enforcing, we've had a few enforcements this last month, violations on sanitation stuff. And we've been chasing property owners building buildings without permits, so been kind of busy. Do you guys have anything?
Nope.
Good enough.
That's all there is for zoning, then. So we just need a motion to adjourn the meeting, Joe.
No, there's
Brittany.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
We
didn't
got
see
it
what's here.
written,
We gotta go to land records yet.
Here.
yeah, he's on here.
Oh, she's not, okay.
Okay, no other business, go to land records. GIS coordinator, written report.
Hey, everybody, can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. So this report is pretty lengthy. It's been a busy past month. A lot of moving pieces to that right now. We're setting up the, what are we calling it? We're calling it the infrastructure geodatabase. So it includes culvert inventories and damaged sites of road washouts or culvert washouts. Also been working on the sheriff's map. That's coming along. That's been released to our dispatchers so that they can start to get the hang of it. We're still having a hang up with kind of the vendor on the 911 calling piece, but so far the mapping side of things are going really well. No issues with the data I've provided. The syncing when there's new data is going well. I have also been doing a little bit of other projects, but not much time to work on those. Got the budget done, of course, for 2021. And we also had another census review of our boundaries. Those were incorrect again, and we let the census know. So hopefully they get that updated by the time we redistrict next year. Do you guys have any questions on the report?
No.
looks real well to me. I'll make a motion to accept Brittany's report.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. Other business?
I have no other business for you guys this month.
Okay, no other business. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. We have adjourned.
Bye, Joe.
Thanks for the coffee there, Amy. Appreciate it.